Welcome back to the Crypto Market Watch here on Road Dog Crypto. Today is Tuesday, April the 26th, and it is just a little after 3 p.m. when this video is being made. Today, we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin market, the overall market, the SPX at Standard & Poor's 500. We're going to take a look at the DXY, the dollar strength. We're also going to look at ETH today and ApeCoin. ApeCoin has been tearing it up during this downtrend. Road Dog Crypto. All right, let's jump into this market. So we have got the Bitcoin chart pulled up on the weekly. Guys, we have been in this channel since January. The tops have been holding. The bottoms have been holding until this week. We got the break. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was forecasting that we would get a breakthrough of this. I was expecting a quick wick down, kind of like what we had over here in these two spots. We can see a pattern is forming here on the weekly, but let's go to the daily, take a little closer look here. What is the price action telling us? So we've formed a new pattern inside of this rising channel. We've got a falling wedge. Now, a falling wedge does have a 68% chance to break out to the upside. The question is, when can that happen? And my answer for you is, it's going to be a while. We're going to still kind of travel down until we reach around this 37,210 mark. Now, is this scary that it broke this trend line? Yes, it is. Because the more times it knocks on this door, the more chances that thing's going to break open. What I believe is that we are getting a bear trap down here at the bottom. And what I foresee to happen, or what I'm hoping to see happen, is that we come down here, we go back up and retest this, go above it, retest that trend line again, and then start working our way upward. Now, if it does that, and this does seem to be a trend in Bitcoin, where the price does break out of these levels, does a bear trap, and then goes up to the upside and pops out. That's usually how a lot of these patterns have been playing out. If you get a bull trap or a bear trap, it usually goes to the opposite direction pretty quickly. And I just think that we have a lot of accumulation going on in Bitcoin right now. That's what the on-chain analysis is saying, that big money is accumulating Bitcoin. They're just driving the prices down to get better prices. The retail is not really in this market. What we have is a bunch of finicky Wall Street people who apparently get very scared. And since we are kind of correlated to Wall Street right now, that's why we look at the SPX, the Standard & Poor's 500, to kind of see what's going on here. And until Bitcoin decouples from this, well, we're kind of riding with the market, because when they get scared and sell off, it's going to affect us. Now, on the weekly, this is getting kind of suspect. Now, we are doing a falling wedge on this one, on this also, which has a chance to break up. We're talking about going through summer. If we can hold this trend line, we're showing a little bit of red right here on our Ichimoku indicator. And that makes my ears perk up, because when we see red there, that gives us a chance to break under this. So on the S&P 500 on the weekly chart, we're starting to see just a little ribbon of red there. And that'll make my ears perk up, because usually how this works is that the price action will fall into the green. Now, if it goes under the green and then we fall under red, we're in a downtrend for sure. And it takes a little while to get out of that. Be on the lookout for more downward action. It could happen, but we could also just bounce right above this, and this red will start flipping into green, and we'll be kind of in the same scenario. What we see going on is that we are losing some of the money flow coming down. The indicators are going down. We're on a downward trend right now, but our trend line is holding. It can break. We could see it fall down to 39. So just keep that in mind. The markets are really iffy right now. Let's take a look at the dollar, the DXY. Now, historically, when the dollar rises, Bitcoin goes down. Now, here's the tricky position that we are in with the DXY. We are approaching our trend line. What I'm seeing here on my indicators is that we're getting kind of heated. This is what I'm expecting to see over the next few weeks, that we probably come up here at about 102, we will come back down, retest, and then we'll start going back up. So here's what's happened with the dollar on the daily. We had a rising wedge. Now, those break down 68% of the times. When they do not break down, they typically go parabolic. That's what we're seeing going on here with the dollar. What it did, it broke out of this wedge, it came down, it retested it, started going up. It actually formed another wedge, and it broke out of that. So that has given me very good confirmation and confluence that we're getting ready to break out of this. Now, it's going to take it a little while. What I foresee happening is that we will probably lose this trend line, come back down, do a retest, and then start working our way upward because if you look at the dollar on the whole, let's go to the weekly, we're forming a little bit of a bull flag here. This means that possibly dollar could go all the way up to 130 over the period of this year. So I think that our dollar is overall getting stronger slowly. And so we have to keep that in mind because that can affect Bitcoin. All right, so coming back over to Bitcoin, just a little recap. I do expect it to come down further. Now, it could bounce back up. If it gets back into this channel and it closes above it, we're good. We're looking for it to go up. Right now, we're struggling to get back into this channel. And therefore, I do see us probably most likely over the next couple of weeks coming back and touching 37,000 area range before we do break back up into this level. I mean, on a technical level, yeah, this could be a huge bull flag and take us all the way down here. If it did, it would not be it wouldn't happen soon. It would be something that takes place over the period of a year. But the reason that I am not concerned about this being a bull flag giving us downward numbers until I see this happen, it has got to come below this blue line, retest it, and then it's on. If it does that, yeah, we're looking at these low numbers slowly over time. But until that happens, the rule of the game is if we're in a channel, that's how we play it. We stick with our guns and we control our risk. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm hoping that is what you guys are doing. What I really want to show you on Bitcoin on the daily right now is right here. From that close to there, we are angling up. That very same close here, we're angling down. So when we have these two lines making this shape right here, like it's doing, this one's going down, this one's going up, this is hidden bullish divergence. That means that we should be getting a bounce soon to the upside. Now let's take a look at ETH, see what's going on with Ethereum right now. Ethereum on the daily is under the 200 moving average, just like Bitcoin is, meaning that we are in a downtrend on this. Market Cipher is getting ready to paint a green dot here in a little bit. We're looking like our resistance is going to be about 28, 25 in that area. I'm looking for a bounce off of this trend line over the next week at 27.31 in that area, the low 2700s. We do have some hidden divergence there, indicating that we should be catching a bounce more than likely on the $2,700 level, somewhere through there. All right, so ETH overall is looking like it's getting ready to take a turn upward over the next week. We may actually get back up to around the 3,200 area, this green 38.2% Fibonacci level. And overall, Ethereum is following a similar course to Bitcoin with this channel. So our targets for Ethereum over, let's say, the next month, 32,000, 35,000, and then 38,000 at these respective Fibonacci points. Take a look at ApeCoin. This one's been going off the chain and everybody seems to be FOMOing in. The bad news is that I have to tell you that it's getting ready to go down. Our things are getting exhausted. The biggest thing that's telling us that we are going to go down is because closing price right here, drawing a trend line on the closes. However, the tops of the RSI are coming down. This is saying that we have bearish divergence. And that means the price is going to be coming down soon. Now, how far will it come down? I'm going to take a Fibonacci from the top all the way to the bottom here. And these will be our targets that we're kind of looking for. Now, Dow theory says that things will retrace at least to the 50% level, which would be $15.10, and come on down even further. So about 1402 is what I am seeing happen, and that will kind of give us a retest of this previously high area. And then from there, we can kind of entertain it, maybe going back up. This might be a good area to short. Definitely have the signals for it. Got the red dots on Market Cipher there. Got the bearish divergence going on. Stochastics are about to turn over. Just be careful with ApeCoin. Don't think just because it's going up that it's time to get in. This is when you take profits. It is on a very bearish pattern. The rising wedge, 68% chance. Falls to the downside. That's what I expect to see over the next week. Be a great time to get back into it if that's what you're trying to do. So I would be structuring my buys anywhere from the lower area of this trend line. If it does break into the trend line, it could go down to the bottom of the trend line. So if you're looking at it, I would consider stacking orders around this area on up to about the midpoint. So all right, guys, that's what I've got for today. Keeping our eye on Bitcoin to see how it does in relation to the rest of the markets there. Just be careful, and I would just be looking for some good points to maybe pick up some more Bitcoin. That's what I'm going to do. I'm buying this every day that it's down. All right, guys, there we go. And that's what we expect to see on Bitcoin, just a little bit more drop before we do something, have a chance to make another leg up. But this is something I have been expecting over the past month, actually, is a dip below this line to come down here to the blue line before we retest it and break back in is what we're looking for. So just to draw this out, this is what we're hoping to see. If we see that, we want to start buying in here. The other scenario that we might see with Bitcoin that we really do not want to see is if it does this, comes back here, and then starts coming down again. That's not so healthy. If we see that, considering getting out of your positions about right here in this area, at the top of this line. Other scenario that we could be looking at would be the worst in my mind is if we come down past this blue line and do a retest on it. That's when I'm getting out of the game for a while. Not that I'm against Bitcoin, but that's when I would be positioning myself so I can buy some more Bitcoin if it does come down to these areas. But this is our worst case scenario, and we're nowhere near that yet. We have no confirmations. Everybody's kind of acting like this is what we're expecting to happen. Everybody's getting bearish, but as we see, when everybody gets bearish on Bitcoin, kind of what happened a couple of days ago, it reversed and went the opposite direction, and then everybody started getting bullish and excited again, and that's just how it goes. Well, guys, be careful trading. I'll have another update when I see something happen in the market that deserves an update. You can expect something from me here on this channel. But until then, be blessed, be positive, and just remember, guys, you've got this. Road Dog Crypto.